Hey everybody, Alissa, QHHT practitioner here. And today I've got another segment clip I'd love to share with you. Every one of these is so special and unique. I can't express that enough. But this one definitely had a special twist to it. Sometimes we get the awesome opportunity to work with somebody that we're close with, or somebody even better that we've incarnated with before, part of our soul group and our family. So every once in a while, the higher self likes to pull me into a conversation. And in this case, that's exactly what I'm here to share with you. So much information came through, but there's three main key points that I thought would be helpful to share with everybody today. One of them was a really cool conversation about dragons, where they come from, really where they are, what we can do to work with them, and how they work with us. And then another piece of it was how our guides actually help guide us. There's so many little breadcrumbs that they're constantly leaving along the way for us to hopefully see and choose to pick up and to play with. So they really showed a cool example of how that plays out, why it plays out, and how we can, maybe recognize that in our daily lives. Another really cool thing was how important it is for us to stay on our own journey. FOMO is a real thing, right? And we always want to go and see what the hot new trend is and what everybody else is doing. But really, what's the most important is what's right in front of us, what's being brought to us is our piece of the bigger puzzle. So, to stay in our own lane, so to speak, be really aware of what's coming up for us and investigate, research, and dig more into our personal journey with those messages that are specific for us. Lots of really cool information in here. As always, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. He had an experience when he was working at the dealership. A person who pulled up in a van as if it wasn't working, who had a message for him, asked him if he understood, told him he was part of God's army.
He controlled legions. He was the commander of legions.
What kind of legions?
The visions he's seen with the soldiers with wings by the millions is correct. He commanded legions in God's army.
Beautiful.
That's why they're after him. That's why the struggles. That's why we took him to the darkest places. So he could come back up in light. He'll command those legions again. Not in this lifetime.
Okay, but he's got all those skills here available for him to use now.
Yes, he's called in the legions before. And they come.
Are the dragons a part of that?
Dragons roamed the earth for years. They were hunted out of extinction. So we took them to a different realm. They're too powerful a creature to let simple humans kill off. So the dragons are used in battles in other realms. Magnificent creatures.
There's been quite a few making their appearance to both me and him, coming up in sessions, coming up in his meditations.
You're going into the other realms
Okay.
where they exist because you were part of the dragon's blood.
Ah, that makes it easier for us to connect.
Not only do you don't really command a dragon, so you can't really say not only do you command dragons, because you don't really command a dragon, but the mutual respect with the dragons, the mutual respect makes it so you can interact with dragons, and as long as your intentions are of good nature, they will work with you. If your intentions are not good, for instance, You can't tell a dragon, go burn that guy down because you don't like him.
Okay.
They won't do it. They're godly creatures. If your intentions to work with the dragons are to do good, then they will present. So where you both have interacted with the dragons, obviously your intent is on the right side.
Is there anything that either of us could do right now to work with the dragons more or in a different way than what we've maybe perceived so far?
No.
It's all pretty new, so we've just been...
No, just get to know each other.
Okay.
They will protect you from the sky. They'll keep your energies cleared when you call them. They'll help fight the darkness, as long as your intent is good.
Do we need to request that they do this? Or do they naturally do this now that we have a connection?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Sometimes they're in another space, and if you need them because you're being attacked or bombarded or not comfortable, you can call them in.
Okay.
Magnificent creatures.
Wonderful. I've so appreciated getting in touch with them these last few years. It's been really beautiful helping people to normalize their experience with the dragons and to be a part of that. Thank you for clarifying today.
We've been trying to wake people up for years and years and years and years and years, and they just... Problem is when most people see them, they want to kill them. That's why they're in another realm. Mm-hmm. Same with the space people. Fucking humans, they just want to kill everything. They don't understand it, they want to kill it.
Is that the change that's coming?
That's what we're working on.
Great.
Unfortunately, a lot of those people are going to have to be taken to another place and restarted. Because they're so stuck in their we gotta kill it if we don't understand it mode that we just can't move forward with them here.
There are opportunities to evolve and to ascend, or
They'll have to start over
limited? Okay.
somewhere else.
Okay, great. Well, we look forward to that day and our part in helping to bring that peace. There's one more person he had an interesting experience with recently. He thought for sure that she was the one in his class when she wasn't.
She was.
Can you tell us more?
Timeline collapsed.
Okay, that's what we suspected.
We merged.
Okay.
New memory.
Okay, so that's what I thought. I think it's going to be really good for him to hear that.
He was confused.
Yes, he was. But I know I had a lot of warning and a lot of advance I tried to share with people about timeline collapse. So I suspected that that was what was happening.
He understands timeline collapse because he's seen it on, different scale.
Okay.
That was the first time it happened in a personal nature.
Okay.
And it kind of flipped him out a little bit because there's no doubt in his mind that he went through that course with her.
Yeah, that did throw him for a loop.
Timeline chat. We had to change that timeline.
Okay.
It had to change. So we put in a replacement.
Okay. Is there anything that they have? Is there a connection or path that they have together now that those have folded together?
They were both tribal members at one point. They were both in the same tribe. you call South America. Tribal members. Those people aren't here anymore.
Would those be the ones that we call the Mayans?
Correct.
Okay. They were both there together at that time?
Correct. So they know each other. They don't know why they know each other. That's why they know each other.
Beautiful.
And then we brought them together in the session so they could reconnect, and then we had to change timeline. So he remembers it, but he's the only one who remembers it.
Okay. Wonderful. That's so cool.
That's fucking hilarious.
No, it is. I'm sure from your perspective.
It's like pranking you fuckers.
That's the way it feels like. So I'm glad you see it that way too. That was my thought exactly. I can only imagine or hope to remember one day that point of view. I'll take this one while we've got it though. He wants to know more. I've got just a couple more questions if we're still good on time. If there's any like wizard and warlock that's been really big for him.
Oh yes.
Can you tell us more about why that's been such strong energy?
In the medieval, what's your word for
medieval?
It? Yes.
Okay.
Times. He was what you would call a white wizard. He worked for the good. He's got a picture in his phone. A picture of a wizard holding a staff. Very accurate representation of who he was.
Is that the one that he's used on his profile picture? Or he's shared it with others? Or
yes.
Okay. I know which one you're speaking of.
We put that there for him to find.
Okay.
So he could connect.
Wonderful.
Very powerful white wizard. So when he jokes about being a warlock of some ancient age, he's right.
That's what I thought.
That's
okay.
absolutely right.
That's great.
Dumbass.
I think he felt it. Just sometimes that's a big thing to accept in our human way here. But he's felt the magic from his hands, as he puts it.
Correct.
We kind of walked through some of that when we did Reiki together, where he felt some of that connection come back. Is the magic from his hands and the Reiki, or those things that are different times for him, or is it part of the essence that is synonymous?
It's kind of one and the same. The powers have been diminished because they're not needed.
Mm.
The magical powers can still be created, but not to the extent they were then.
Okay.
So it's like it's been, what's the fucking words for it? Turned back, maybe? Dialed down, maybe?
Okay.
Lessened.
Okay.
Not as powerful. But if something happened on your timeline that those powers are needed, they can come back. They're just not needed at this time in the strength that they used to be.
Okay.
Because there's more people capable now.
Ah. He had to carry more of that weight alone
Yeah.
before? Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Great. Is there any information about Egyptian connections for him? Are those any of his earthly lives?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
He hasn't had one yet?
Oh, yeah.
Or just to not know about it yet?
It's not time.
Okay.
There's enough going on that we don't need to convolute the mind with more.
Okay. He says it's kind of been just little blips or glimpses or little things that have kind of come in, but not as strong as other
We
things
showed
have.
him a couple pieces, but the human mind can only grasp so much, even as strong as your group is. And you know who I mean by your group.
A Monday night group? Or me and
yes.
Okay.
Your group.
My close group.
The core.
Okay.
There's only so much even the group can handle. And so if we put too much in there too fast, it becomes convoluted and confusing. And then instead of focusing on why you're there and what you're currently doing, you start focusing on way more than you're capable of focusing on, and it distracts from the what he calls the path he's on. It distracts from that path. So we don't want to distract from the path, from his, from yours, from his other friends in the core.
Okay.
The recent friends that have come into the core. The gal with lightning in her hands. Thor's daughter. What's her name? She's Thor's daughter.
Oh.
That's why she has lightning in her fingers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
But we don't want to distract. We cannot distract. You can only handle so much. You can only take so much. And we don't want to change the focus.
Okay.
Focus has to stay where the focus is.
So that definitely is affirmative to why we all are having our own little pieces, because we're bringing in what's important for us, but we can't all have the same thing, or else we're not going to bring in as much as we need.
Right.
Okay.
As a core, you will all end up together for the greater good of humanity. But you need to finish the walk.
Okay. And the core has kind of had some changes over the last few months.
It's constant.
Okay. The core is constantly ebbing and flowing?
Constant.
Okay.
Certain people in the core have come together and will stay together. Others will come and go. They'll bring what they need to bring to the group, and then they'll leave.
Okay, great.
Because their purpose will be served.
Wonderful. I want to ask health-wise, can you tell us what's going on with Rich's back?
Reminder.
It's a reminder?
Right.
What is it a reminder of?
History.
Was that from that Mayan timeline?
Yes.
So he understood that as maybe an arrow or a spear?
It was a spear. It was a war. He got a spear. That ended his timeline there.
Okay. So why does he need that reminder in this lifetime? How is that serving him?
It brought back to memory that time, because people forget their timelines, their history, their previous lives. They're taught that there was no previous life. A lot of people are taught this is it. They come in once, they're done, they go wherever it is they think they go, which isn't the case. So we have to remind people sometimes of who they were, like dropping the picture of the wizard in his face so he could remember. It's the same with the past lives. Sometimes we need to do something. You don't learn much better than something from pain. When you have pain, it sparks memory.
Yes, it does.
So that pain sparked a memory, and it sparked a path to find the memory, which has been accomplished.
Beautiful. Now that he's got that memory recalled, will he encounter that pain in
Probably.
the future? Just as a reminder of what's
Because we already
wrong?
put it there.
Okay. There's nothing we can do to take care of that for him?
I don't
Or no need to?
really need to.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to share with them about that?
No.
Okay.
No, not today.
The last thing on the health side is this unique rash that he's got. He thought it was based on something that he was eating, so he started to cut that out, but it seems to still be spreading and continuing on. Is there a purpose for this rash to exist right now?
No. Age.
Okay. Is there anything he can do to help subside it?
Well, he quit growing older.
Well, you can help us with that. You can regress him right now if you want.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing. He keeps asking for a 20-year regression.
You give it to him?
Not yet.
Will he get it at some point?
Might.
Ah. Well, you want more than 20 years at that point?
You know, 20 years back, you know, that's probably okay.
Okay.
Much more than that, you know, then you have to go through all that bullshit again that you went through in your youth. And
Okay. That's a good
even though
age.
you've already gone through it, you know, if you look the part, you have to play the part.
I see. Okay. Yeah, 20 years would be a good range then.
He keeps asking.
Well,
Just 20 years, that's it. Your technology isn't ready yet, but it's coming.
okay.
It'll be there.
Well, that'll be what we've heard of or known as the med beds when they arrive.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to be for everybody, because obviously people need to come into this realm, this human thing, and then move out.
Okay.
But when we have a select group of people that are well, like you guys, stronger in their light than most, and have an awareness of their power, then we're going to keep them here longer.
Okay.
So hopefully it happens in what you call your current lifetime.
Okay. Wonderful. Is there anything else you would like to share with Rich that he will be able to hear as he listens back to this recording?
Tell him he did good. It's been a struggle. It's been not a really easy life for him, even though he doesn't have the struggles of some. Everybody has their struggles. We took him to some dark places, and he pulled through. We knew he would. Sometimes we questioned if he would, but we knew he would. And now he can take a break and just help others. We don't have to put him through the dark times anymore.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure.
I hope we get to